What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Bears show on a Bears Victory Monday. I'm Ivan Vargas. What a fucking game that was. The Bears prevail 31-27, and I couldn't have asked for a better fucking game than that. I mean, quite honestly, it was very bleak. Let's be real. It was very bleak, to say the least, in the first half. But this team, man, the belief, the talent that they have, it might not all be there, right? It might not all be complete, but I really don't believe you need a complete team with the belief that this team has in themselves. And how they fought in that second half was something legend, right? It's something of legend. It's something I'll remember, you'll remember. Whatever kids were out there watching, they'll remember. It was, and it's crazy that we keep saying this. It's almost like every other week we're saying this is probably one of the best games we've ever seen as a Bears fan. But this quite honestly was, for the situation, for the stakes, for the team that we were playing, it was hands down the best Bears game I witnessed in my life, and I'm sure it is for you guys as well. Before we get fully into it, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. Again, like, for the last couple days, it's been kind of it's almost a little bit of a fog, right? Like, I still can't comprehend fully how they made it happen, what flipped, what made the defense turn into really a contender. It turned into a defense I haven't seen all season long, right? We were unfortunate enough to not capitalize on some of the fumbles that they had, but when this team needed it, we kept getting off the field on third down. We were able to get them in precarious situations, and they were able to get off the field. Still a lot of big plays, given up. But when it came down to it, that second half for the defense, and I know the offense, it was a total team effort, but for me, the defense stepping up and the defense making sure that they were getting off the field when they got them in third and long, when they got them in third down, they were able to get off the field and give us a shot. That was something that I was blown away by. I couldn't believe it. We were over at Casa Humilde. I was out there with the True Chicago Sports crew, me, Jose, JC, and about, maybe the start of the second. I don't even remember when I left, but I just went out to the parking lot, sat in the car, and watched the rest of the game on the phone. I watched it I was not trying to move. They sent somebody out to go make, a wellness check on me. I was just, nope, don't even come near me. Don't come by me. The juju is all right in this car right here. And I stood there, and I was just every opportunity. And it was frustrating because there were so much more opportunities for the Bears to capitalize on that they didn't. But when they did, it was just like, oh my God, it was stunning for how bad they played that first half. You weren't expecting them to, flip a switch and start making the plays that they needed to. But damn it, they did. And I'm not one to be like, oh, we don't have any, worries. But like with this team, you can't count them out ever. It's something to marvel at, because literally nobody's done this in the NFL. No team has had these comebacks like this in the NFL, right? And for me, it seems like it almost seems like as if they need that pressure, right? Is when the pressure builds, the Bears show up, and that's great. I would just show up in the first fucking half, please. Like, you don't have to give us a heart attack every single week. You know what I mean? We love the wins. We love the wins. And like I said, it's almost like every week we got a new great all time Bears game, and that's awesome. But man, I would like to see a complete game. Imagine this team, on firing on all cylinders. Imagine, and we'll get to the injuries because it's a couple rough ones. But imagine this defense getting a boost in the pass rush. Imagine Caleb with another year of studying on the offseason under Ben Johnson. The wide receivers are going to grow. We're going to add more in the draft. Imagine this team with more firepower on the defense and, more seasoning when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. God willing, everybody's healthy and we're healthy enough, but I feel like this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time. And it's something that I didn't think was going to happen. Like, imagine, go back with me, right? Let's time travel. Let's go back to year 2 of Matt Eberflus, right? We didn't know about anything, right? We still were like, oh, we don't know about this Eberflus guy. We got to give Poles a chance. Then you go to year 3, and you're like, this is fucking terrible, right? This is terrible. There's no way we could continue with this, right? Losing games we probably should have won. And then there's last year. And last year, it was quite honestly like one of the more frustrating years. It was probably the most frustrating year. I'll just say it out loud. It's the most frustrating year I experienced as a Bears fan, because you have talent and you have opportunities, and it was like you're being held back. And kudos to Ryan Poles. He pulled the trigger. I felt like he should still have pulled the trigger a year before, but we don't know what might have happened then. But still, he pulled the trigger. He got the right guy. It seems like everything is in almost overnight. It seems like it just changed. And for me, Ben Johnson he's the only reason, man. Like the command he has of the locker room, the franchise. Like, shit, let's be real. The franchise. He has the command of the franchise. And you heard in that clip that started, Ben, fuck the Packers. Fuck them. That's us. That's us. He's down with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's with us. This is our guy. Him doing that, it's not a fucking joke. Like, it's not fake. It's not a fraud. This guy is real, and he knows it. Us beating these motherfuckers after 30 years of torment, Favre, Rodgers, even Love to start his career. All that shit the Packers have been talking for decades, right? Decades. Clay Matthews at the fucking draft. You got Packers fans, oh, same old Bears. Rodgers discount double checking and shit. You're gonna pearl clutch. People are gonna pearl clutch over that. We deserve that. We fucking deserve that. And then you got George doubling down. Good for fucking you, George. Good for you. You got your coach's fucking back. George don't like him either. So fuck him. I'm sorry. The amount of crybaby bullshit that I've seen online from not only Packer fans but you know celebrity types and commentators and shit like that. Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. Right? Fuck you. Fuck the Packers and fuck anybody who's going up against Ben Johnson. It's bullshit, man. This guy is the most passionate coach we've had since Ditka, right? And he's leading this team. He commands this team. They love him. They play for him. They fight for him. He's got them fucking believing. From last year to this year, there's no fucking way I would have told you that this is the team where we're gonna have. None. Even with Ben Johnson coming in, there's no way I would have told you as soon as he signed that, it's going to be a flip script. I had them about 500 because I thought there was just too many flaws. But shame on me for doubting, because even though I believe he has room to grow, and there's some things that I don't like about certain situations, you cannot deny the culture shift, the change in the locker room, the change amongst the players, the change amongst Caleb Williams, the change amongst the front office. People in the city, people have fully bought into this team. And it's because Ben Johnson has made it that football comes first. Football is the first thing that comes when it's talked about Hallis Hall. The first thing that should come to mind is football, not anything else. Football, the players that are on the field for you, those are the things that should matter the most, and it's mattering right now. And he's showing you what he could do when you get a group of guys, and you quite honestly, he's just being straight. When you teach it, when you coach them hard, when you coach them straight, when you demand excellence, this is what you could get. And the players are buying in, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It was one of the most frustrating first halves, and just the most elation I've ever felt after a football game, bar none. There's no other game that I could remember where I was like, it just floored. There was barely anything I could really say that could explain what is going on, what just happened. But they believe, I believe, Chicago believes, and this team, it's another tough opponent. This team, that a strong team, a great head coach. They've already been to where we want to go. It's going to be tough. But there's not a doubt that this team will go out there and compete and fight. And, God willing, they win. But it's great to have the feeling of, I could go in, we could have a rough patch with this Bears team, and you have the belief that they're going to turn it around, that they have the coaching staff to make the adjustments, that they have the players to go out there and make it so. And quite honestly, the quarterback, the Iceman cometh again. And some of the plays that we'll get into it. The 4th and 8, fourth down and 8, the game on the line, escaping, rolling to his left. Caleb Williams makes probably the greatest throw in Bears history. I'm not being facetious. I'm not. I dare you to name another one. Name one like that, with is the stakes on the line, everything. Name one. That was the greatest throw I've seen a Bears quarterback make, and it's the greatest throw in the franchise's history. All the kid does is make history, break records, and shut people the fuck up. You had Lil Wayne talking shit to Caleb. How'd that go for you? Caleb responded, and I'll actually I can't play it because it's gonna have Lil Wayne's music on there. But you got a Caleb response. Go ahead and check that out on his Instagram. He's got a response to Lil Wayne. He's got a song playing there, and it's perfect. It's perfect. And quite honestly, I like the fact that he's going at some of these people that are hating on him. Right? Like I like that. I like it's been too much. It's been too long. There's only so much a guy could do and take before he's gonna say something to somebody. And he chose one of the biggest artists of our time, Lil Wayne, who's a huge Packer fan, to let him know there's a new sheriff in town, bro. There's a new sheriff in town. You better get used to him because it's not going to go away. See what's some of these comments. What's up, guys? Been just running my mouth for a little bit. Let's see if we got any questions here. Let's see, Creighton. I think they could beat the Rams, but from here on out, no matter what happens, I'm proud of this bunch. They are not the most talented team, but they don't quit. Yeah, it's. I love this team. Like this is one of those teams, those Chicago teams that you can't help but love. And this one, out of all of them, I feel like is my favorite. Like what they're doing from where they came from, you know, the attitude shift. It's all been great, and I'm loving it. What's up, Corn? The Ivan Show. Yeah, it's the Ivan Show. It's under another name, but might as well be. An epic Packer meltdown. Yeah, they have to own that shit forever, Jeremy. They have to own that shit for, and it's not even going to wash away. Look, that's not going to go away in a year, right? That's not going to go away. They have to have a couple of quite a few heart to hearts up there in Green Bay, but this thing will not go away. Definitely the entire offseason, and we'll see what happens if there's any carryover, and we'll see what happens when it comes to LaFleur. But that was 28-3. That was Falcon-esque. And they said Ben showed those guys, having two two players that played in there, and Tooney and Grady Jarrett in that game. They showed them in the preseason. Never quit. You're never out of it. And damn, like I mean, they bought into that. They bought into that tenfold. It seems like it doesn't seem like this Bears team is ever out of it. But I would much prefer them figure out a way to get things going, from the jump. And offensively, it's to me, it's go no huddle. You got to go fast, even if it's like a modified, like where you got 3-4 plays in a row, you go no huddle and then run another few plays in a row, like something to that effect. Because it does seem like this team plays a lot faster, a lot more consistent when it gets down to these pressure situations where you got to move fast. It just seems like they're more reactionary than, and then they're not overthinking or making a mistake is much. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it just seems like they excel their game when things are on the line. So maybe hurry it up. Maybe put a little modified pressure on on this team. Like, hey, we're gonna move fast. We want to move fast. Let's get going. Maybe that'll work. Whatever gets done, it just needs to be faster. Period. You know, uh, I hope that it's not the case that we have the same type of first half. Up against the Rams, because this team will score points and they'll put it on us if we don't play up to par right away. But I think the biggest thing was Ben. I wouldn't say he strayed away from the running game. Like you had to go ahead and start putting up points. But I like the fact that he didn't completely get away from it late in the game. Right. He kept them honest. Like there were some runs that you had some trunk runs later, but it wasn't that number three rushing attack that we've seen. Up against the Eagles, up against even the Packers in that second half. It still was kind of clunky. Um, I know they were probably geared up for it after getting run on by the Baltimore Ravens for about 300 yards. But again, I would like to see that get cleaned up. Definitely like to see the dynamic duo that we have get some bigger yards, get something more to eat out there on the field. But i- you know, pressure on the line. We got a guy. We got a dog, man. Like we got a guy. His name's Caleb Williams. He's going to be here for a while. And the throws that he made down the stretch, like I said, that fourth and eighth, that was amazing. Every play. Oh, let me mention my guy. I'm sorry. I got to. First of all, I've already apologized for the Colston Loveland, you know, disappointment. I would say during that draft, very frustrating. I wanted something else, but fuck all that. This guy's a superstar. Colson Loveland is about to be both him, Caleb. I could see superstar tandem right there. Colson Loveland, whenever it seemed like we needed a play, Colson was making it. Whenever we had, a doubt, a third down, it seemed like Colson was available every single time, getting separation constantly. It didn't matter who was guarding him. He was open. Colson's open. 8 receptions, 137 yards, 17-yard average, along a 29. He had 15 targets. It was impressive. Impressive. The athleticism, the strength, his hands are tremendous. And he fights out after the tackle too. He fights after contact. Just couldn't ask for anything more from that kid. And like I said, I'll eat the crow because fucking Colson Loveland is a badass. He's like I said, I see superstar written all over him. Superstar written all over him. Flex this. Damn right, Ivan. Stop giving a fuck what everybody else has to say. Bears fans deserve a tough team. Yeah, yeah. That was a little bit earlier, but yeah, Flex, you deserve a fucking tough team. Ben's here. He's buying into us, buying into the city. He's taking on our pain, right? Taking on our burdens, and he's with us. So yeah, man. Like it's a joke when I hear these people crying about it. There's no. If it were your coach, if it were the Packers coach that did that shit, they would be throwing a parade for the motherfucker right after the game. No doubt in my mind. What's up, Jerry? DeMarco, Kyler Gordon, Booker, Sweat, Tyreek Stevenson made the defense more aggressive. Really, the whole defense stepped up. Bain Jr. and the two defensive. Yeah, the defense just there was some switch that they flipped. I don't know what. Like I said, Dennis Allen started dialing up pressure, but it was the aggressiveness they were playing with. Austin Booker just hunting Jordan Love. It seems like he doesn't like him. Like and I'm down for that. I'm down for that. I didn't see any dirty shit, but Austin Booker was on his ass. And Austin Booker's a guy that I'm really impressed with after coming off the injury. I didn't have high expectations, but quickly becoming a guy I see is right there, right? He's right there from taking this. If he could connect on a couple of these sacks, here and there, or he's able to just keep doing what he's doing, right? Keep doing what he's doing, having the motor he has. He's hungry. Keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna find success. And again, that's a surprise to me because I really wasn't I really wasn't high on him coming back. He didn't do much, but it seems like he's taken a step. He looks like a different dude. He looks like a dude that could be a factor for us moving forward. Could be a real threat moving forward for us. And Demarco Jackson, yeah, Demarco Jackson's been fantastic throughout the season. It sucks what happened to TJ. You know, broken fibula. It was. I thought it was just maybe like an ankle thing or some shit. He twisted his ankle, but he went down like he did. It didn't look fantastic, and then they came out with the air cast. So it sucks, man, because I love TJ Edwards. I think he's a real leader on the team. He plays awesome linebacker for us, but DeMarco Jackson stepping up. It was huge. He took over. It seemed seamless. The whole defense attitude was different that second half. Everybody stepped up. Kyler Gordon, you saw the rust, but he had a couple plays there. He knocked the ball down at the end, but he also almost had a pick. A few, I think it was the same drive or the drive before, but it wasn't a totally, it wasn't a great night for Kyler. Like you could still see some rust having to be scraped off there, but yeah, man, the defense, you got to give them the credit they deserve. Fourth and eighth throw was S tier top level. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It was. It really was. That's something that, if it were Pat Mahomes, if it were Burrow, if it were anybody else, I feel like they'll be talking about, like, it would be in our face. Like, you would see nothing but that scrolling through your timeline, and I barely see it. From some of some of these bigger pundits and some of these bigger personalities. People usually share top plays, but it just seems like people still hate Caleb. It seems like people are just haters. That's it. Like, if you're still hating on him, like, it's sad for you. Little, like I said, Little Wayne hating on him for the nail polish and shit, and it's like, come on, Wayne. Like, let's be real, dog. Like, let's be real, bro. Like, we're gonna talk about his nail polish. Let's be real, bro. What is this, bro? We're gonna talk about nail polish. We're gonna talk about nail polish. Wheezy, nail polish for real. Let's stop. Let's stop with the hypocrisy. Let's stop. It's a joke. Anybody hating on Caleb now is just a fucking hater, and they just don't like him. They don't want him to succeed. That's it. That's it. Period. I thought Ben Johnson was going to give him the game ball over Sweat. He's pressuring more than Sweat. Yeah, Sweat made some big plays of that in pursuit behind Jordan Love to knock the ball down. It caused an inverted pass, I guess. He was around the ball. He was doing his job. It just, you didn't have enough in that first half from anybody. But like you're saying, Austin Booker flashes a lot more. He's been flashing a lot more. You see the effort, you see the motor. He's right there. Like, he's right there. He's on the cusp of doing some really good stuff for us as a DN. And it's, hopefully he could find a breakout this week. It would be huge for us if he could go ahead and pick up a couple sacks against this Rams team and Matthew Stafford. But we'll see. I'm impressed with what he's been doing. It's a pleasant surprise from where he's been. Then he gets hurt, and you're like, oh, what the heck's going to happen with this guy? And now he stepped up his game, no doubt. Ivan Billings going out was a blessing. He's been a struggle big time the last month. He's been slow to react. He's far over. Yeah, it sucks that he went out, but it's that the change was necessary. You saw the struggles. I mean, he did. He's just not in shape enough. Like, you can't have a guy that big out on the field for long, and guys are taking advantage of it. Teams are taking advantage of it. You could see it game in and game out. He's They're starting to key in on him because he's slower, especially when they start moving fast. You can't get off the field because you're too slow to get off the field, so you're fucked. You got to wait till it stops. So again, it sucks that he can't contribute 100%, but it might have been, like you said, a blessing in disguise. It might have been needed. It might have been, something that they probably should have done a long fucking time ago. But hey, we'll see what happens. Nobody's talking about how unclutch Love is. He had a shot to win the game with the ball in his hands. He didn't make the play. He was front running all game. To when it came to nut cutting time, nothing. Yeah, Jordan Love had a good game. He had a good, but I see your point, Flex. Like he, as well as the whole team, right? It was a team choke job by the Green Bay Packers, right? It wasn't just Jordan Love, but for as much praise as he's been getting, lately, I would say it would be disappointing. The Packers fans are talking about it'd be a different game with Jordan Love, and they were pretty much shut down that second half. The Packers offense was, especially the run game. I don't think they had. I think the stat is like they had under a yard or less than a yard to that effect in the second half. Yeah, again, something switched. Like there was a huge, a huge jump with that defense. But when it comes to Jordan Love, you lose your center, and yeah, I believe that the exchange at the end of the game was affected by the new center coming in. You know, uh, it's a tough spot for anybody to step in right there, but losing your center you've been playing with all game and asking a guy that's been sitting to step in and one of the most crucial times in the game, it's tough. I know you're a professional, you gotta do what you gotta do, but that's a tough ask of anybody. And I'm sure that was part of the reason why there was a botch snap. And Jordan Love had to put his eyes down for a couple seconds to pick up the ball, readjust, and by that time, it was just, hey, find somebody that's open and give them a shot and put up a prayer. But the Packers team was just unclutch at the end. The whole team, not just Love, but the whole team. It was impressive to see. Like the Bears took advantage of them, but the Packers just had no answers. And you heard Matt LaFleur say, "Hey, I didn't change anything. There wasn't really many adjustments because they were out there kicking our ass." It was the Bears. The Bears made the adjustments. The Bears flipped the switch. So it wasn't as much as all right. Maybe it was the Packers choking, like I said, but I think it was a lot the Bears just taking it away from you. You had every opportunity. Your field goal kicker. Thank God somebody else has field goal kicker problems, and it's not us this time. But your field goal kicker couldn't do shit for you when it came down to it. And the Bears took advantage. So it's I would give it, let's call it a 50-50 split, right? Bears took it from you, and the Packers did choke that game away. So I'm just gonna call it an even split. It was half Packers, half Bears, but again, you got to play four quarters, right? And I'm talking about the Bears too, but as well as the Packers, you only played one half. Other than that Matthew Golden spectacular touchdown, by the way, that was it. The Bears had answers. You didn't have the Packers didn't have answers. I'm hoping too, Bear Truth. I'm hoping they pick up right where they left off. But that starts with the mentality. You got to come out hot. You got to come out pissed off and aggressive. You can't wait for this halftime to start flipping it. You can't, hope for a Jason Hayward speech in the locker room to come save you. We got to start out fast. We have to start out fast. See, we're gonna get into some of these interviews in a second. Just want to see. We got a couple more questions. Who we got? Somebody new. Somebody new. Let's see. And Bug, love the win, but Dexter Jr. and Edmonds have to be cut next year. I think, yeah, there will be some tough discussions and some hard choices. And yeah, there will be people rearranged as far as teams. And I believe that the Bears, you got no other choice, like with how you've seen the struggles. You could keep a core group, if you want to call them that, but you're going to have to find, for starters, more pass rushers, right? You got to find more pass rush. And then we're going to have to patch up this secondary because we got some questions there. And I know that the Bears definitely can add more talent in that area. There's also the Jalen Johnson question. Will he stay? Will he go? He's already talking about contracts, stuff like that. So, again, we'll see where that goes. But for right now, this has been enjoyable. And we're on, after this, we're on this, we're on to the Rams. Rams come here. It's going to be bitter cold. Hopefully we got some, I'll save it, but we got some surprises coming in to Chicago. Hopefully. So I'll save it till they're here for sure. But it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be another tall task, but this team seems to rise to the occasion time and time again. And I'm looking forward to it. I trust DA and Ben Johnson to get there. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's all about the coaches. I wouldn't say what they want. It's all about the scheme and the attitude that you want, right? You got to get some of these guys. You got to get some dogs. We talk about it. You got to get some nasty ass motherfuckers that are willing to go ahead and do some dirty work out there on the line at the point of attack. And we got guys just I guess they're doing all they can, but it's just not enough to really have confidence that this defense can go out there and consistently get off the field with some of these more high-powered offenses in the league. So there's definitely going to be a change. Especially at the defensive line. But for what they're doing right now, I want to live in the moment as much as I can. They did what they had to do, and it was pretty impressive, pretty amazing, and I'm happy they did it. But let's go ahead. We're going to start out with that locker room, the speeches, the game balls right after, and then we'll get into some of the interviews and wrap things up after that. All right, this is Ben Johnson in the locker room right after the game, post-game speech. Hell yeah!
You go into the tournament coming off of 2 losses, man. You go into the tournament off of 2 losses. You look up at halftime in this game, and it's 21-3.
No panic.
No panic. None of it built for pressure. That's you guys. And that's the first one. All right? That's what we had to do. All right? Now I got 3 game balls here. First one, all right, we had 8 catches, 130-plus yards.
We're so thankful, and to be here, and for all you guys, I'm proud of everyone here. But that's we got to keep this thing rolling. Let's enjoy the out of this stuff.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Good, man. Hey, defense, That a way to step it up there in the second half. That a way to step it up. One guy caught my eye, and it might not show up on the stat sheet, but he was around that quarterback the entire second half. Montez Sweat!
It's just a credit to everybody in this room, bro. I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here without y'all. Love.
Tell you what, man. 4th and 10. I don't think either one of his feet was on the ground when he threw this ball. But it's just straight ice.
I said last night, you make your money in the regular season, but in the postseason, the legacy, your name, everything, and so that's us. That's us. It's not me. I'm not, obviously, game ball or whatever. That's us. Us. I want to keep going. We have to get better. All right. We have to start. We have to be on the details. We have to execute, pin all of that to be able to get where we want to go. And I want to be here. I want to do this with y'all. Yes, sir. So it starts tomorrow. Starts the next day.
Let's go, bro.
Hey! 15 years, they said. It's the haven't beaten Green Bay or whatever since whatever, right?
Talk heavy.
Look at this guy right here. First playoff win. Everything he's done for us as a coach, everything the other coaches have done for us. And it started with him, with bringing in everybody and
Get emotional.
That, right? And for me personally, he's been get emotional. For me personally, he's been monumental in my life so far.
Yeah.
And And so to his first playoff win as a Chicago Bear.
You make sure when you talk to the media, you talk to them how this crowd tonight made a difference. They made a difference, all right? Man, I'm so proud of you guys. To do what you just did, I said it at halftime, right? This is one that you'll never forget.
Yes, sir.
This is one you'll never forget, all right? Bring it on in. Bring it on in. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Good gets better. Good gets better. It better gets better. It better gets better. There's no 3, 1, 2, 3. Better.
I fucking love this team. I really fucking do, man. I really do. That was the first time I heard it through. The only thing I've heard was obviously the fuck Green Bay. First time hearing it through. And man, Caleb is the fucking leader. But Ben Johnson is the maestro, man. He's the puppeteer, right? He's got everybody on a string exactly where he wants them to be, and he's in control. Damn. It starts with him, man. Like I said earlier, it's who he is. He's 100% genuine. That fuck Green Bay, that was real, man. I was getting emotional right there. I was like, oh shit, I'm about let me straighten up. But man, dude, the belief they have in this team, the belief they have in their coach, in themselves, this team's got something special going, man. We can't take this season for granted. This one, they can't take this one for granted. Like you said, enjoy the hell out of this one, but we got more work to do. But if you hate Caleb Williams after that speech, if you got a issue with, like I said before, go fuck yourself. Just kiss my ass, kiss his ass, get the hell out of Dodge. Don't let the fucking tornado hit you on the way out, because he's the real deal, man. He's blossoming in front of our eyes, and I know he's everything we wanted and more. And we're just seeing the beginning of this duo with him and Ben Johnson and this Bears team and this attitude. This isn't going to be a 1-year thing. This is a standard now. Like, you're going to have a standard put in place whenever the season ends. You're going to have a standard put in place and set for whoever else comes through that building as a player, as a coach, as an executive, as a staffer. There's going to be a standard set. Football comes fucking first. And that's what we've asked for. That's what we've prayed for. Football at Hallis Hall is fucking back. And Ben Johnson brought that to us. Caleb is going, he's going the way of so many other, top quarterbacks, right? It just seems like he's on that trajectory. Like, things are starting to click more and more. And you see all this, the Superman stuff, but you see the intangibles as well. You see how he connects with his team. And people were talking shit about him being mad on the sideline. No. He should. We're screwing up. The first half, you were terrible. Somebody needs to light a fucking fire. Somebody needs to say something. They were dead. If he says nothing and just sits down, you're going to crucify him for that? I don't get it with some of these people. Showing emotion, pissed off because things aren't going right. Things aren't being run properly. Sometimes you gotta bark, man, when you're a leader. Sometimes you gotta be in somebody's fucking face sometimes to wake them up. Who better but him? What, he hasn't earned it? What, he's too young to do it? Get the fuck out of here, man. I'd rather him step up right now than sit there and not say anything and not do anything and say, hey, somebody else go ahead and speak up. People are just too many negative comments about that. And quite honestly, it's just, like I said, stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's hate. Yeah, Tom Brady praised Caleb for yelling at his guys when he fucked up. Yeah, if Tom does it, you've seen Tom in motherfuckers' faces, O-line, fucking running back, wide receiver. He didn't give a shit. I know Tom has a few more skins on the wall, but damn, like, this is a playoff game against your arch rival, and we're shit in the bed. Somebody needs to say something. I know everybody in Chicago that first half was saying something. I know they would have. Caleb reeled it in this last season and a half. You are slowly seeing him become more direct, open, and vocal. Love to see it. Yeah, he's settling in. It's almost like a takeover. Like, he's finally taking the reins of being the leader, of being the face of the franchise. Again, it was going to be little by little. I felt always, but right now, it's here. He's doing it. Like, it's his team. now. It's Caleb Williams' team. Fuck the pass. I don't care about any other quarterback or any other. This is the future. This is where we move forward. And I'm elated that this guy is with us, that he's, bought into the system. He's bought into Ben Johnson. I'm glad that Ben Johnson's with us. Like I said, guys, from where we've been, you all know it. We were going nowhere fast. And things changed because the guy in charge said, hey, these are the standards I'm setting. If you can't meet them, you won't have to worry because you won't be here. We'll find some place for you to go. If you can't meet them, you will not be on this football team. All right, let's get into the let's see. We'll go with the Caleb Williams post game. I'll skip the Ben Johnson post game because I'll play the Ben Johnson presser from today. But we'll go with the Caleb Williams post game. Bring it back up. And see what Caleb has to say after the game.
What's up, everybody?
Caleb, can you take us through the range of emotions that you felt throughout the course of this game? And it was actually pretty impressive to watch how vocal you were on the sideline with your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I was calm. Obviously some frustrating moments. Us just not doing our job. Us, not focus on the details. Us, those type of things that in these games you can't have. And so that was the frustrating part. That's where my frustration. That's where some of the early in the game, kind of me being vocal was coming from, the anger and things like that. Just because it wasn't guys out there not giving effort and things like that. It was just guys just not being on where they need to be at the right time and things like that. And so, we're going to go back. We're going to watch the film. We're going to fix it. But the great thing is we're moving on to the next round. And so we have a shot to be able to do that. And so, being able to stay calm through it, obviously use the frustration, being able to communicate with the guys even through the frustration so that when the moment comes up, we hit and we show up in those moments so we can go win the game.
Thank you. He shouldn't even have to explain this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, again, your team isn't doing the things that they need to be doing. Who's the leader that steps up? That guy. Everybody looks to the quarterback. That guy stepped up. He said something. What was it? Nice? Was it sweet nothings? Was it please, pretty please, guys, get in your spots? No, this is fucking football. You're in the playoffs. You haven't won in 15 years. This is serious. This is your season. Shit is on the line. Somebody needed to step up and speak up. And your quarterback did. Your leader did.
We've talked all season about how different this offense has been for you.
Yeah.
Like calling the 25-yard, the pass to DJ Moore at the end.
Mm-hmm.
How well did the call work for you?
Yeah. It was a perfect call. We end up throwing a screen early in the game. And so it sets it up, to the same side. And so it sets it up. And then, being able to have that play call that we worked for, I think, the past 3 or 4 weeks. And just didn't use it in those other games. And then, in the right moment at the right time, coach calls it just as he does. And, the guys did a great job selling it. Obviously, DJ made a great catch. Just put the ball out there for him to, go out there, make a catch for us and go win the game.
When did you see it? And what goes through your mind this split second?
Yeah, once we lined up, I actually knew that we were about to hit it, just off the demeanor of the guys on the other side of the ball. Just had a feeling that was going to be the one. And like I said, the guys did a great job. O-line did a great job blocking. The guys did a great job over there selling the fake, and then obviously DJ going up selling.
So before that, when the game's on the line, you want to be going with the ball in your hands. But what's it like watching from the sideline when the defense is out there and you have Jordan Love marching down the field at the end?
Pure belief. That's all you need. And you got belief in the coaches that they're going to call the right play at the right time. You got belief in the players that are on the field that are going to make the right play at the right time. And so the belief, all I said was to guys, you don't need to be Superman. You don't need to go and do anything crazy. You just got to go out there and focus and do your job. And those guys looked me in the eyes and said, "We're going to make it happen." That's what they said to me. And so the belief was there, the trust was there, and they went out there and made the plays when it counted.
When you came to the Bears, you talked about changing the history, rewriting your own history.
Mm-hmm.
One of the negative histories here has been this rivalry.
Yep.
What message do you think that you sent to the Packers this season?
Yeah. We're here. And I'm gonna be here for a while is my plan. And so, be here with Coach, win a bunch of games, be in these moments, and come out victorious. That's the mindset for right now this year. That's also a mindset for the future.
The off-script ball you hit to Rome.
Couldn't ask for anything more. Couldn't ask for it. That's winning. Just win, baby. Being in these moments, winning games like that. They said that they say that this is what he lives for. This is who he is. And, for the most part, I'm like, yeah, I'll take the, I took it as talk. I'll take it as, all right, he's a clutch player. But I truly believe now that this guy is built for the big time, for the prime time, for the moments where, you separate yourself from ordinary players, right? The guys that make the plays, the guys that lead the drives. This guy, it's in him. What that the clutch gene, whatever you want to say, it's in him, man. And when you hit that 4th and 8, I forgot to mention that fourth down and 8, where he hits Rome on the sideline. Y'all saw it, it's been all over social media. He hit that jump man. It looks just like Michael Jordan, the jump man logo. And quite honestly, it's like, man, have we ever seen, like, when is the last time we've seen somebody like this, where it's like, when it comes down to winning time, you got that cold killer in you. And I'm not saying, he's him yet, but there's just something in him that there's a will to win. There's another level that he goes to. And yeah, I don't see why you can't hope that he can reach some of those heights that Michael has done. And maybe, he's just the greatest of all time, probably the greatest athlete of all time. But the way Caleb treats the game of football, the way he treats his job, the passion he plays with, the will that to win that he shows, he's been showing us almost every week, it seems. It's something very, very special. And I'm just happy he's on our football team, man.
On that
Fourth down.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did you see? I'd make that play.
Yeah. We ended up having like a looper or a blitzer. I haven't obviously gone back and watched it yet. And he ended up breaking through, and I felt the edge. I could have got around, and I knew where the play was going. And so I wanted to go in that direction with Rome, and just didn't have enough time to be able to sit there and throw a ball in the pocket. And wanted to go in that direction because, I saw the space before when I was dropping back. And so I went in that direction, and honestly, just understand it's 4th down. I gotta put the ball in play. Rome went and made a great catch, adjusting to the ball. I threw him upfield. I knew, I think 25 was trailing him. And so, put it upfield a little bit. It creates an awkward angle for him and makes it a little bit easier catch for Rome.
Maybe you said you knew the game was over when you guys hit that pass. What was your mindset when you converted there?
Yeah. Go win the game. That was my mindset that drive and the drive before. That was my mindset throughout the drive. That was my mindset in that 4th down. And it's fun having that belief in your guys, from your guys, and also from Coach. Coach coach said in the headset, "I need you right here, and go make a play, kid." And we went out there and we did just that.
Caleb, how's your ankle?
My ankle's good. It was I ended up landing on his foot, and so my ankle was a little bit higher off the ground. I would say I have pliable ankles because I work on that, just making sure I don't have any bad ankle sprains and things like that. So it was a little bit higher off the ground, and I ended up landing wrong, and felt like my ankle bone touched the ground, but I haven't gone back and seen it. Yeah.
Caleb Benson.
That play scared the shit out of me. When he went down, then I saw it, and I was like, oh, God. Like, not Caleb Haney all over again. And I know Tyson is the backup, and Tyson's, I think, way better than Caleb Haney. But just the situation, it scared the shit out of me. It gave me some type of PTSD that was like, oh, God, here we go again.
Talked about Colston Loveland just barely scratching the surface of his potential.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like over the past few weeks, you have really started to form a bond with him. What do you think's changed from the beginning of the season to now, and how has he become that for you?
Yeah. We got a home run with him, and that's something the coach said the other day to me. We were, sitting in his office, and everybody goes back to draft night, and why did we get Colston Loveland? Why did we do this? And why did we do that? And it's Colston Loveland. You know what I mean? That's who he is. He's one of the hardest workers on his team. He's there late.
Oh, well, now early. We know.
His body language when he's on the field, all of that is I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for what we got, to show for these next couple of weeks, and then what's to come in the future for our trust, our bond, seeing different route concepts, and being able to see different defenses, and just honestly be on the same page, 99% of the time. I'm excited.
Halftime men's message.
Yep.
This could be legendary. We can make this. How did that resonate with you? Just hearing what his message was at that point, considering you guys were down 21-3.
Yeah, it was it's the only option we had. Was to go out there and be legendary, to go out there and execute, to go out there and do our part on the offensive side, defensive side, and special teams. Have each other's back. Go win the effing game.
Caleb Ben mentioned that hearing the noise from the Packers leading up to this weekend. Did you notice that? Was that something you took exception to, or what did motivation from?
Yeah. They wanted us. That's what I heard. They wanted it, and they got it.
That shit was so cold. That shit was so cold. Look at his face. Stopped it at the perfect time. Iceman. They wanted it. They fucking got it. Look at it. Cold, baby. Ice cold. What's cooler than being cool? Caleb fucking Williams. Ice cold, baby. Look at that shit. That's my quarterback. That's how you answer that question. They wanted us. They got it. Ice fucking cold. Love it.
Caleb, do you have a sense of how special this is for the fans in the city?
Sort of. In the sense of, obviously, I'm not out in the city and I'm not out, doing all those different things. But on game day, here tonight was special, and you could feel it. You could feel it from the fans. You could feel it, the energy. On that last drive, delay a game, false start, clock running low. It was chaos because of them. Obviously, our guys out there making plays and stuff, but they were a huge part of it. They were a huge part of this win. They were a huge part of where we're at today. And so we want to keep that going. Like I said, we want to make them proud. We want to make them, happy to be Bear fan. And we're going to try and keep this going.
What's that experience like for you after the game, and just this year having the fun back in football?
Yeah. Football is always fun. It's playing football is fun. Playing football is fun. Losing isn't. And so, just having this year so far, it's obviously a little bit more fun when you win. but this year has been a special year. The guys that we have in this building is unmatched. The brotherhood, the bond that we have is unmatched. And so we want to keep this going. That was my message to the team after the game. Like, we got to fix whatever we got to fix. We got to start faster. We got to play better. We got to execute more. If we want to reach the goal we want to reach. And it starts with, and happy to advance. But, it starts with tomorrow. It starts with, whatever day we come back. Because we have a goal in mind that we want to reach, and it starts with being 1-0.
Many of you have been asked about Colson already, but it seems like he's more and more your go-to in these high leverage situations.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, high leverage situations, I believe in all my guys. I mean, OZ for the touchdown, he hasn't had many catches. With other guys playing a little bit more. OZ in that moment, DJ at the end, high pressure moment, makes a great catch. It's all the guys, and that's why all their stats are so even is because I believe in trusting those guys. I believe in trust that they're going to go out there and make a play for us at whatever moment comes, and whenever it happens, it happens. But I trust those guys. I believe in those guys with all my heart.
Your friend told us that he showed you guys the 28-3 Super Bowl.
Yep.
Atlanta and Patriots, and
yep.
Joe Tooney, who was on the Patriots team, you heard from Grady Jarrett, who was on that Atlanta team.
Mm-hmm.
What effects did that have on the locker room? Did that kind of play into this mentality that you guys have, that you can come back from anything?
Yeah, we've got the belief and faith, and that was something Coach brought up in the locker room. Is there's been teams in this situation. We've been in this situation kind of all year, and that's the frustrating part because we're such a good team, and we have such great coaches and such great players, but to be in those situations and to come out victorious. It's no fluke. It's no, this happened, we're lucky. We've done it multiple times this year. It's been proven to be, for us to be a great second half team. And, in this, you can't get behind every game. In the playoffs, you can't get behind every game. You can't, have the miscues and things like that. And so we're going to go back and fix it. But if the game comes down to it, we're going to keep fighting. If the game comes down to the last play, if the game comes down to the last 2 minutes, I believe in us, and that'll keep going forever.
Caleb, when you hit DJ, I know obviously you're celebrating with your teammates, but do you look up around the stadium for a second or two just to see what's happening up there?
Yeah. You obviously enjoy the moments. You obviously enjoy being able to go out there and have those moments and scoring those touchdowns because you look up in the crowd and it's just electric. It's exciting. The energy from there and that point. I mean, they were rowdy. They were on it, and like I said, they were key in this game.
And even the press, the media was saying that the stadium was shaking. They said that the Bears fans were shaking the stadium, shaking the press box. And even from, where I was sitting in my car, and even in the when I was in the bar, like a little bit later, you could hear the difference of the crowd noise. You could hear the crowd noise as loud as it was. And, I've watched a lot of Bears games. I haven't heard the crowd even from the TV being that loud and effective. But, from people witnessing firsthand, it was shaking the stadium. The Bears fans were shaking the stadium. And, man, it's a huge difference. You saw a couple of miscues from the Packers late. That noise is a real thing. That fourth phase is a real thing. It's just, you got to get everybody going.
You realize, historically, not a lot of playoff matchups between the Bears and Packers for years to come.
I'm in it, so it's hard for me to, I would say, fully recognize and things like that. But I do have an idea that it's big for the city. I think last time that this game was played was a long time ago in the playoffs, and it's only our third time, I believe they said. Being able to go versus the Packers in the playoffs, and so it's exciting, it's fun, but for us, it's just another game.
Ever been on a team like this that's never out of the game, especially when the original game plan might go sideways?
Yeah, always. I've been on some. I've had some games throughout my career, some years throughout my career where, you gotta come back and go win the game. I've done that. I've been a part of it, and I always feel, with me out in the field, I feel pretty confident that until the clock hits zero, we got a pretty good shot.
You've always been very, very confident. Has
that
made you more confident this year? Just the
I would say he's helped with the confidence because it's, you go out there and you read the defense and you believe. Obviously he has a track record of being one of the best offense coordinators, and right now he's for me he's top candidate for head coach of the year and things like that. But you go out there and I have these meetings with him, and our trust and our relationship, our bond has grown. And so when you have that trust and you got somebody that has your back, has your six, it's the confidence goes to the roof. And then, you have the meetings, you have such belief in his play call, and you have such belief in your team and who's out there on the field with you, confidence goes to the roof. And then, like I said, you have these meetings with him and he tells you, this play is for this, and, just plan his offense, his scheme, and trying to play it well, keep the offense on the field, all these different things. And you go out there and you work so hard and you hit these plays and all these different things, and confidence just keeps growing. And so I would say yes, he's helped with the confidence for us as a team, us as an organization, but also myself.
Real quick, looks like the Texans are going up a touchdown. Going up 17-6 after a strip sack and a touchdown from the Texans defense. So 17-6 Houston over Pittsburgh at the moment.
Can you describe the moment when the clock hit zero? What that felt like?
Yeah, felt great to have my first playoff win with these guys. It felt great being able to fight the way we did and come out victorious. And it feels great to be able to move on to the next game next week and be able to focus on that game. And, other than that, man, I'm tired. I'm ready to go home and go to sleep. The Bears. Thank you, everybody.
Caleb Williams. We'll get into Ben Johnson in just a second here. But, yeah, if you have any doubt that this kid is going to be our quarterback for a while, don't doubt. No, stop doubting. Settle yourself. He's got the confidence, he's got the swagger, he's got the talent, that's for sure, and he's got the coach that's backing him up, and he seems to be, like I said before, he's growing right in front of our eyes, he's maturing right in front of our eyes. And I can't wait to see what's next for the kid. And it starts next week. It starts, this week. It starts against the Rams. Once again, you got to go 1-0. We'll play this Ben Johnson interview. I'm going to go check on my son because he seems to be going nuts right now. So forgive me. I'll be right back in a minute.
It's a heck of a win for the guys the other day. Watching the tape, it's just credit to them for being able to pull out from 21-3 deficit there at halftime, and defense bowing up in the second half, only allowing 6 points, and then offense slowly chipping away and finding a way there. Last three possessions to score touchdowns. I think it was a 66-yard drive, 76-yard drive, and then another 66-yard drive. Special teams played a factor throughout that game. We thought that it's a really good punt unit that they were facing, and yet we were able to get a couple explosive punt returns. Duvernay had a heck of a game for us. Cairo came up big for us. Those conditions, really, Soldier Field this time of year are not advantageous for many kickers, and yet Cairo has proven that he's a guy that we can't not just trust, but he'll come through for us when we need him the most. So that was great to see. I thought the coaching staff did a phenomenal job throughout that game, just staying calm, cool, and collected, and making the necessary adjustments that we needed to make to help our guys out the most. And, the veteran leadership, showed up as well, particularly at halftime. No one was panicking or anything like that. And, there's a belief with this team that shows up each and every week. It's kind of who we are here at this point. First playoff game for a number of guys. So not only getting that experience, but also getting their first playoff win. I think that's going to bode well for us going forward. This time of year, every point matters, every play matters, every blade of grass matters. And so we learned that, throughout those 60 minutes there the other night. So
Collectively, you guys leaned into the animosity of the rivalry. What was the thought process of kind of using that as fuel rather than just being real ton of vision?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big game. First playoff game at home in a while, and we hadn't won a playoff game in 15 years or so. But certainly the opponent in and of itself, it means a lot to the city, this organization, and that's something that we certainly play into a little bit as coaches and players. Is we know how big it is when Chicago plays Green Bay.
You make of the skirmish before the game at the 50.
Yeah, so no one wants to see that. That's not both teams are highly charged. That's just not something that we want.
Go ahead. I was going to say, people have talked about, like, between you and LaFleur, the 2 wins things, the handshakes. Beyond, getting this important playoff win, why is this important to you, or is there something personal beyond that?
This is a rivalry, and city of Chicago, Green Bay, it needs to be a rivalry.
When you look at the rest of the coaches in the league, is McVay the best? Do you look at him as the gold standard among the rest of the coaches?
I think it's hard to gauge who's best.
Real quick, I wanted to answer. I was sorry, I'm looking at something else, but I wanted to address that. Yeah, I love that. Right, everything I've been saying before. It's a rivalry. We don't like the Packers. Like I said, 30 years plus of just Packer dominance. It's not great. It hasn't been great. And for us to have somebody that, like I said, is taking on our burdens, taking on our tears, and being like, hey, I'm with you. Fuck these guys. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it, dude. Like there's just, it needs to be a rivalry. We want it to be a rivalry. It's a rivalry to us. It's gonna be a fucking rivalry again, whether they like it or not.
Best and who's worst when it comes to coaching sometimes, but there's no question about it. He is on the upper echelon. He does a phenomenal job. He has ever since he got to LA. All of his teams are really well prepared. There's no doubt that he's super sharp in the offensive side, but I think how he does it as a head coach, bringing all 3 phases together is really critical to their success. I think he does a great job. Knows how to speak to the team with the pulse of the team and get the most out of them. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they're in it damn near every year since he's been there.
You get fired up with that matchup of the chess match between you and him, the way players do when a wide receiver knows he's going against a particular.
Well, when you look at this league right now, all right, where we're at in the season, there's going to be, after tonight's game, there's going to be 8 teams remaining, and all 8 are going to be really well coached. They're going to be really talented. It's just the way it is in the playoffs. Once you get to round 2, round 3, there are no weak links, and I got nothing but respect for the opponent that we're going to play this upcoming week because they're damn good. They're number 1 in offense in a number of categories. Their quarterback's playing at a really high level, MVP caliber level. And defensively, they create a lot of issues for you. And so this is going to take our best foot forward here to win this one this week.
And there's the belief that in the post-game locker room, what did it mean to you to stand next to Caleb and then hear him get emotional, choked up when talking about the impact you've had on him?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that coming, but it's why you get into coaching is you want to make an impact on the people around you, and it meant a lot. It really did.
It made an impact on the whole damn city. Shit. I know Caleb's the most important relationship with Caleb, but the entire organization, the city has been impacted by Ben Johnson and his coaching and his command for excellence.
And we'd asked you, I think, about Caleb's emotions on Saturday night. You know, the TV copy had him getting in the faces of some of his teammates trying to get him going. You said you talked to him about it or that it would come up. Has it come up since?
We haven't had a chance to sit down and speak on that specifically. We will. I think we're all feeling a certain type of way, and you got to be authentic to yourself when it comes to the game. And we all want to do well. We all want to have success. We want our teammates to do well. And so that's a part of it. And yet there is an accountability factor that goes into it as well. When I turn on the tape and I see a few things, particularly in our passing game, that weren't the way that we had talked about over the course of the week, sometimes you do need to get a little bit fired up just to make sure that the point gets across and that we play better going forward. So I don't shy away from that part of it.
I asked you over the year about Caleb finishing strong, but the start isn't as strong. Is it a talent for him to push through whatever it is that's bogging you guys down in the first, 3 quarters of the other night?
Yeah, I actually felt like he played pretty well for the entire 60 minutes. There's some things we're addressing here today that we feel like we can clean up and we can be better at in terms of, I get it 4 positions in the first half and we only get 3 points out of it. And yet, we kept chipping away, and eventually we broke through that dam and turning from field goals to touchdowns there at the end. And so that was just the nature of that game. I think we all want to start faster. I know that's been a theme here over the last 2 months of the season, it feels like. But we're going to go back to work here.
No, it's not a theme.
It's
That's
something
the problem. It hasn't been a theme. We want it to be the theme, but it hasn't been the theme. The theme is you start out slow and you do this shit to us. Give us a heart attack and win, which is cool. Like the wins, but we'd like you to start faster. Let that be the theme.
address. It's something that we correct and we look to get better from.
And where's your particularly frustrated? Caleb did, back to Pat's question on just his emotions. He looked particularly frustrated after the interception. What happened with him and Luther on that? Was it a miscommunication? Like, what did you see from him?
Yeah. I actually that was one of the better interceptions you could have, to be honest with you. If you're not going to convert a 4th down, then turn it into a flip in the field like that's a big deal. So there was a miscommunication on that play, and that's one that we're fixing.
Is that a mailbox thing, where did Luther just think he was open to stop her?
And you spent 2 years with Stafford in Detroit, and obviously you've played against him too. What did you take from your experience with him, and what do you appreciate about him as a
man? I've got so much respect for that guy. I mean, you talk about the ultimate competitor. He's one of the more supremely talented throwers of the football I've ever been around in my life. He's outstanding. I think he's a great teammate. But what I think second to none with him is his toughness, physical toughness. Like this guy's gone through a lot, and yet finds a way to will himself onto the field to be there for his teammates. So when you look at him from just a competitor standpoint, like this is a really good player, and he's going to will himself to help his team out the most.
And with Ozzy going down, where's sort of your confidence with Theo, a guy who has?
Yeah, I mean, we've got tackles that have played a number of snaps over the course of the season, so your comfort level does go up. There's a reason why Theo was out there, though. We felt really good about the ball that he was playing there second half of the season. And so, yeah, it's another one of those stories where it'll be next man up for us. We've had a number of those over the course of the year. And Theo, if it's his number that's called upon, he'll be ready to go.
How did he look as a route runner on that one play?
You tell me. What'd you think? I think he hit 16 miles an hour, didn't he?
He was moving pretty good. He was moving pretty good.
You call a receiver screen on the first drive of the game to Luther Burden. Do you do that knowing that you're going to go back to a play like that resulted in the game-winning touchdown, or is it just kind of?
Yeah. Sometimes the sequencing of plays early in the game does reveal itself later on in the game. Yeah, that does happen.
Then if you're F, the the Packers comment that he had after the game has kind of gone viral since then. What do you make of that? And I guess how much has George McCaskey maybe given you feedback on that, maybe embraced?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, there's a rivalry that exists between these two teams, something that I fully recognize and I'm a part of. And yeah, I mean, I don't like that team. So George and I have talked.
There it is.
and we're on
You
the
don't
same
like
page.
that team.
And understanding that the MO going into Saturday night was to be aggressive on fourth down, that the specific instance late in the first half where it's 4th and 5 at your own 32, what was your decision-making process in that specific situation?
Well, yeah, I think the previous two games there's less possessions offensively than I would have liked to have, and so the aggressive fourth down mentality had something to do with time of possession and making sure that we're maximizing our possessions. It's a strategy we talked about as a team. The whole team was highly aware of it and had a lot of confidence. I think where it gets misconstrued is there's a lack of confidence in your defense when you do that. I think the opposite. I think it's because I have confidence in our defense and their ability to stop teams in the red zone that it makes you more willing to pull out a strategy like that. And so, a lot of thought goes into how we want to play a particular game. At the end of the day, it always comes down to what we feel as a coaching staff is going to give us the best chance to win and put our guys in the right spot. And then you go back and you look at it after the game. Hey, was it the right mindset or not? And that's what happens in this league, and I'm never going to apologize for being aggressive or doing things that might be a little bit unorthodox if it's what we deem is best for us to win a ball game.
The end of the first half, and out right before the field goal attempt. Just curious, kind of overall process and thought process that goes into that. And then did you think that miss, even though it's 18-point deficit, still gave you guys just a little bit of juice in the locker room?
Well, yeah, I mean, you always talk about each week whether icing the kicker is the right thing to do with that particular player, and you try to look at his history a little bit. And yeah, I think we usually have a pretty good feel on whether we want to do that or not. I don't know if it gave us any momentum going into the locker room. You're down by 18 already, so it's not going to feel good no matter what. But whether that got in his head or not, you'd have to talk to him about it. But we felt like it was the right thing to do in that moment against that opponent. And, him missing some of those kicks. And once again, I give a lot of credit to our field goal block team for creating some pressure throughout that game that might have impacted the kicking as well. So Soldier Field this time of year is not easy to kick in, and so that's why we're very fortunate to have a kicker we really trust.
Say, has that appreciation in Cairo grown as you've kind of lived through some of these games? Because I imagine from afar you could kind of know it intellectually, but to kind of live through it.
Yeah, and it's a lot of credit for Coach Hightower as well, because he's been at the forefront of saying how good Cairo is in these situations and this time of year in particular. And, I think Coach Hightower has done a phenomenal job all year long with our special teams unit. And that's just another example of it right there.
I don't know about phenomenal. I know you got to back up your guy, but what I will say about Cairo is he's figured out the wins at Soldier Field. I'll give him that. It's a real task, those wins at Soldier Field. Robbie Gold's talked about it. Cairo's talked about it as well. You've seen how Brandon McManus struggled with the wins at Soldier Field. So yeah, you got to give him some credit. Does he have the leg to kick these, 55, 60-yard field? No, he doesn't. But can he, does he have the knowledge to manipulate the wind when we do need him to make a field goal and be clutch for us? Yeah, I would give him the credit of that, is that he has done a pretty damn good job of trying to tame the winds of Soldier Field.
The coaching adjustments that were made in game, what impressed you the most of what Dennis Allen did in the second half? Well,
yeah, I think he recognized some things that could potentially help us out. And our players brought it to life really at the end of the day. He's coached a lot of football in this league. He's very smart. I think he does a great job of tweaking some things as we go through the game, tweaking some things as we've gone through the season, to help us out as much as we possibly can. And then it's up to the players to come through for us. And it was a good combination of both. I do think he adjusted a couple things, and I think our guys really brought that vision to life.
And you're facing a team that plays indoors in a lot of warmer climates. And when you were in Detroit, was that something you were wary of going outside to colder atmospheres?
Yeah, I mean, when I was in Detroit, you're outside to start with, and it's usually pretty cold this time of year anyway. So you could practice outside and try to acclimate yourself as much as you can. I think that's a good question for them, how they feel about that. I do know this will be the coldest game that they've played this year. That's something that I recognized, when we found out who the opponent was. But, I think the fact that Matthew Stafford has played well in cold games in his past, I don't know how much of an advantage that gives you over their passing game necessarily, but there's a lot of elements that go into a game like this.
You rooting for the coldest weather possible then?
I like the cold. I do like the cold. Thank you, guys.
That was Ben Johnson, head coach of the Chicago Bears. I don't want to look deep into the fully, right? Some players it'll affect, but when it comes down to it, just play the game, man. Just play the game, play your best game. Don't worry about the weather. Don't worry about who it affects. Play the game and be on point. Execute, right? Execute. Don't worry about how it affects the other team. Just make sure you're not affected by anything out there. Come Sunday, do we know what time it is? Let me see if we know if they've posted it yet. What time the Bears and Rams game is? Let's see. Go to the bracket. No, it's still TBA. Is anybody seeing it? Let me know in the chat if you guys have you see the times. No, I got nothing right now. So maybe they haven't posted it just yet, so we'll have to wait. But you gotta love Ben Johnson. He isn't a complete finished product, but just like the team. But if this isn't a complete product, I can't wait to see what the complete product is. It's been pleasant, and it's been more than pleasant. It's just been wonderful, flat out wonderful to have this type of attitude, injected into the Chicago Bears, the city, the organization, everything. It's been a pleasure to watch, and I can't wait to see what's to come. Now we got the Rams this week, TBA, like Creighton said, but here it is, another test for you. Can you step up and rise to the occasion and go and do this, 1 week at a time approach? Here's another challenge. Here's a team that people, damn near all season long and probably right now feel like should win the Super Bowl and is probably the most complete team out there. But, any given Sunday, as long as you show up and show out and give your all, good things will happen. And that's what I'm banking on with the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I'm hoping on the 5:30 spot. Like, why wouldn't it be prime time? Like you got it's there's stars all over the field. You got McVay, you got Stafford, you got Caleb, you got Ben Johnson. You got Bears, Rams. That's an old NFL rivalry. That's an old NFC rivalry. I don't see why not. I don't see why it wouldn't be the primetime game on Sunday night or whatever they have, a Sunday afternoon. Right. It's got to be a prime time, in my opinion. You got those, probably got the number 2 and number 3 or well, I don't know, Houston's creeping up, but 2 and 3 markets in the country. Got to be prime time, bro. Got to be prime time. I'm not going to get into predictions, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, I think after this, I'll finally be settled into the Bears' victory against the Green Bay Packers on Saturday night. But what an amazing win! What an amazing game! And you know, don't take this one for granted. None of us, not the Bears, not the fans, not the organization. Nobody take this team for granted. You know, like I said before, you never know. Joe Burrow goes to a Super Bowl, hasn't been to a playoff game since, hasn't sniffed the playoff since, right? Don't take this shit for granted. Don't take this shit for granted. Go ahead. Live in the moment. Give it your all. Don't leave anything, don't hold anything back. Leave it out on the field. I know it's all cliche, but that's what you got to do. This is the play. Like, this is what you need to be doing. It shouldn't even be said. Like, this is the playoffs. You have a team. You have a shot. It seems like almost everybody in this field is is kind of right at that same level. Like, it's a kind of like a fluctuating, graph. If you plot everybody on there, I just feel like everybody's kind of on the same level. They're right near each other. So it's gonna be fun. I don't want to give my prediction right now, so I'll wait till tomorrow, or actually I'll wait till Wednesday to do that. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Tomorrow, the Bear Down with Big Steve is on 8:30. Steve and I will be Steve will be breaking it down. I'll be there joining him. We'll be talking about this game and the Rams game coming up. Before we get out of here, become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. Like, share, and subscribe all over the place, all social medias. Help us out. We appreciate you guys. It's been a fun one. It really has. Like, I don't think that I don't feel like this team how do I put it? I don't feel like they understand how to quit, right? I don't think they know what it is to lay down or to just, all right, we're going to play. I truly believe that this team thinks of themselves as a top team. Like, it's a belief that they might not be a 100% complete team, but the belief that they have has given me belief, has given the city belief, and God, I just can't wait. I can't wait. Good things are yet to come, guys. Good things are yet to come. I'm out of here. I'm Ivan Vargas. It's been a good one. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Macho Man Randy said,
means nothing.
Nothing
means nothing.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
More, I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.